Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Q&A show on the Inside the Birds platform, YouTube channel, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, all of it. I'm here with my main man, Quintin Mikell. I'm Jason Avant. Q, say what's up to the people.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody?
Let's go.
Back again, man. Back again. Excited.
Right, we're excited about this weekend that's coming up, but this Monday that just passed, Monday Night Football, the Eagles took on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've been a thorn in our side down there for a long time. And also Ty Bowes has had our number defensively, but we came out with the victory. Q, what do you think about the victory on Monday night? 3-0. What do you think about it?
Yeah, man, that's the most important part, right? 3-0. Even when it's ugly and it's not quite what you expect from a Super Bowl, a returning Super Bowl team. We'll take it. We'll take it, man. 3-0, we'll take it. There's a lot to work on. There's a lot of good stuff that we saw. There's a lot that needs to improve. But at the end of the day, man, when you're 3-0 and you're sitting in the driver's seat right now in the division, it can't be too mad about it, you know?
All right, there's three teams that are remaining undefeated. The Eagles are 1, the 49ers are 2, and in the opposite division, the Miami Dolphins is 3. Ooh. Here's why I'm so impressed with the Eagles being 3-0. I'm thoroughly impressed. And when I break it down, right, so let's think about the way the Eagles have played. They haven't played up to their ability in any of the games that they've played thus far. They've played downright bad at times this year. They have lost Blankenship for a game. They lost Maddox for the season. Gainwell for a game. Watkins been out. Dean for the season. Jalen hadn't been playing up to his ability. Dallas is not always integrated into the offense. AJ had an argument on the sideline because he wasn't integrated into the offense. There's a new offensive coordinator. There's a new defensive coordinator. And despite all of that and not playing well, the Eagles are still 3-0. So that means that the ceiling is so high for this team. Not out for the season. Kobe Dean's not out for a season, but out for put on IR for 4 games, right? So the ceiling is so high for this team. So that's why I'm thoroughly impressed. These other teams that are playing well, they're gelling early, and I think the Eagles have a lot of room for improvement in order to become the best team in the National Football League. So that's what I'm excited about. All right. Right. So let me ask you about the offense. First topic. 50-50 split carries between Swift and Gainwell. Swift is balling, averaging 8.1 yards a carry. Gainwell 3.1. Swift outsnapped Gainwell 43 to 37. But carries were 16 for Swift and 14 for Gainwell. Gainwell had most of the carries in the fourth quarter. What do you think about the distribution between the running backs?
I mean, it's a great problem to have. I mean, these two, and you know, a lot of people may, you know, because especially like last week, if we were really supporting DeAndre. These guys can play. Both of these guys are really good. Just for me though, DeAndre just offers a different element. I don't know what it is. He just got it, man. He's got that little extra something that makes a defense worry. Right. And I'm not saying teams aren't worried about Gainwell, but I mean, Swift went 16 for 130 yards. He's averaging 8 yards a carry. When he gets the ball in his hands, I mean, he's like lightning. He's hitting the hole. He's squaring up. He's juking. He's jumping over people. I mean, he can do it all. And, you know, he just offers a different element to this offense, that explosiveness that I feel like has been missing, even all the way back to, you know, when Miles Sanders was here. I mean, he just offers such a different element that even Miles Sanders couldn't bring to this offense. So I'm excited for what he's been doing. I'm still excited to have Gainwell. I think he's a tremendous player as well. But for right now, man, I like DeAndre a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree with you in that. I think Gainwell definitely has a big role in this offense. And here's the thing: remember, this season is a marathon and not a sprint. So I don't necessarily love a guy getting 28 carries when clearly the offensive line is the real star. I think DeAndre Swift is playing well, and Gainwell has had his time in his games and showed himself in the playoffs, right? And so he deserves those carries. Now, however, it's clear to me that DeAndre Swift going forward is going to be the number one back, and then Gainwell is going to spell him, and also maybe blitz protection, because I believe that he picks up the blitzes a little bit better. But the true winner, the true MVP of the running game is the offensive line.
Yeah,
And
good
that's
point.
it. Out of the 300 and something yards, it was a stat that was given out today. Out of the 300 plus yards that Swift has gotten this year, 250 has come before contact.
That's insane, man.
Yeah,
That's insane.
it's like 300, whatever the number is. 250 of his yards have come before he's even touched. And that's saying a lot about the offensive line and how they're dominating people up front. And it also speaks to Jalen Hurts and his ability to pass, because people are starting to realize that he can beat you with his arm. If you give him open looks, like, so people are reluctant to stack the box and things like that because they're worried about what AJ Brown and Devontae Smith can do. So they're just dying a slow death by a bunch of body shots. Yeah,
I like that analogy. That's it.
yeah. So
Yeah, man.
that's where it is. I do like DeAndre Swift in there more, because, like you said, he does have that Miles Sanders explosion style, but he's shiftier than Miles. That's the difference. Like I said, he does, him and Gainwell are similar players, but he's more explosive. So he's quicker and he's faster, and more explosive. So it makes sense to put him in there. All right. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts found a groove for the most part. 277 yards passing. It was one of those games where, he completed 59% of his passes. Not great. Had one touchdown, 2 interceptions, 71 quarterback rating. Had miscommunication between him and Swift. Aaron passed to interception when it came to throwing Devontae Smith. What do you think about his play in general?
For me, it's tough. I feel like there's something off, or there's something not quite there. Now, I think I heard somewhere that he wasn't feeling too well. Maybe he was a little sick for this game.
He had flu-like symptoms.
Flu-like symptoms. But it's always hard. It's hard when a team's winning and he's not the reason why you're losing. So he doesn't look quite the same as he did last year. I think over time, with more work with Brian Brian Johnson, the new offensive coordinator, I think things will pick up. For me, it's a tough one with the quarterback passing rating, because I thought that he stayed in the pocket. I thought he made really good decisions. I thought he made really good throws. A couple of the throws, AJ just straight up dropped. The first pick was kind of a miscommunication. He had a hand in his face, and he's just trying to get the ball out. So that one, I'll give it to him. The other one, it was thrown in the double coverage, but that was a great play by I forget the DB's name that came over top and picked that one off. But I think even on that play, so the second pick, I feel like Devontae didn't feel that DB coming, because it looked like he was just waiting for it to drop in instead of going up and attacking it. And I feel like had he done it again and he felt that DB coming over, maybe he would have attacked it. And at the very worst, that's an incompleted ball. But I thought that Jalen had a good game. I don't think the passer rating really reflects his impact on the game. That's just my take on it. What about you?
Not so fast, my friend. All right, so I love Jalen. I love everything about his mentality, everything about about the way he approaches the game. And I got to just keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. This is the best game he's had this year passing the ball. So it's a step in the right direction when it comes to passing the ball. However, Jalen Hurts has elevated himself into the conversation of the top 3 to top 5 quarterbacks in the National Football League. And based on that prediction, that expectation, whatever it may be, is below Jalen Hurts' ability. And the reason I say that is because, could A.J. Brown added to the touchdown total where it could have been 3 touchdowns and two touchdowns, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, but it also could have been 4 picks. It literally could. A guy dropped one on the sideline on a horrific decision to throw the ball short of the goal line right before halftime. And now, so the guy could have caught that. The pass to Lamade Zaccheaus in the pocket forever. It ended up being a dime. But how long he held on to that ball in the pocket, if anybody would have got there 1 second earlier or half a second earlier and touched him, that ball would have floated and been an interception. And it was a perfect pass. I'm not saying it wasn't a perfect pass. But what I'm saying is that 8 out of 10 times that play's intercepted more than it was be a touchdown.
That's very true. Very true, yeah.
You get what I mean? And what I'm saying is the decision-making behind it. And it worked. And we always say, good job, it worked. That's great. What I'm saying is that from a realistic point of view, that play under that circumstance, like if it was a clean pocket and he dropped it in there on time and it was like that, okay, I understand that. Or if he was rolling and he dropped it in there because he was away from pressure, just him holding the ball and that long and get one up there, I don't necessarily know if that's a decision that you're going to be able to continually win with.
Got you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was the best game that he's had. And I know that his ability is there. It is top 3, top 5. And if I'm expecting top 3, top 5, I'm not expecting that game. I'm saying that would have been good for top 15.
Mm-hmm.
But to be with the Patrick Mahomes of the world, to be with the Aaron Rodgers of the world, to be with the Tuas of the world, to be with the, Burrows and that standard, like Justin Burrow is not playing. I said Justin, but Joe Burrow's not playing that well right now, and he'll tell you that. Listen, I'm not playing up to my ability right now, and I think that Jalen, this is the best game, but he's not playing up to his ability yet. And here's how you know: they could have ran the ball the entire game. The offensive coordinator and defense coordinator or the head coach realized that, you know what, we can have practice with the Buccaneers. This is just practice.
Like 7-on-7.
It was literally a scrimmage to the Eagles because defensively, our team dominated them. We turned the ball over. Our defense literally got it back within 2 plays, both times.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Turned it over in the end zone. Got it on the 1-yard line. Safety. Our ball back. Throw the ball to who called them? Levante David. Catches an interception, runs out of bounds. 2 plays later, Jalen Carter stripped the ball from running back. Right? So we're literally playing. They didn't have 100 yards total offense going into the 4th quarter.
Straight embarrassing.
So we were running the ball. We could run the ball at will, 6, 7, 8 yards a pop, as much as we want. Instead of just riding that out and getting the game over with, we were out there practicing. Hey, AJ, let's think about this. Let's do this. Let's do that. We were out there throwing the ball. I'm like, what the hell are we throwing the ball? I was like, oh, they wanted to practice a little bit. And that's what it was. They were out there padding stats.
Well, so let me ask you this then. All right, so Now, is that practice for not just the quarterback, but for our OC as well? Like, is he practicing some of his calls and his schemes and stuff he want to try? Right?
Exactly. They're out there. He out there, throwing middle screens and not even. I'm like, why are you showing the middle screen right now? We have 25 points, whatever it may be.
What about the fake, the whatever play they were going to run on the
Yeah,
fake
why
sneak?
are you showing this play right now, coach? Like, no, say that for somebody that can actually beat you.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah. So we were we were out there practicing. That's what we were doing, and we were out there trying to make sure everybody was accommodated.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Gotta keep AJ happy.
Yeah, let's get into it. First,
Yeah,
matter of fact, we'll go right there. Then we'll come back to the next one. Did the coaches intentionally get AJ Brown heavily involved in the game plan after his sideline rant last Thursday? He had 14 targets, 9 catches for 131 yards.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It at times it looked so forced. I mean, it was, I mean, all right. So let's look at it. He had 14 targets. Zacchaeus had 3. Goddard, who's really, your tight end, your main threat over the middle of the field, and that's where Jalen likes to throw the ball. He had 7 targets, and Smith had 5 targets, right? So he had almost double the target. So to me, it's clear as day that they're trying to appease him and make sure he's happy, especially after what happened last week. And I don't know how I feel about that, man. On the one hand, it's like he's your bell cow, like he's your star player, but then it's almost like you're rewarding the bad behavior. And we talked about it last week. It's like you're rewarding him for having that blow up on the sideline. You come back next week and you feed him the ball. So I don't know. What do you think about it, man? I don't like it too much.
Here's my thing. Why can't winning be good enough?
Yeah.
And that was my problem watching that game last night. It wasn't about just winning. It was how we were winning. Like clearly, from the first play of the game, 9 yards, 8 yards, 9 yards. I'm like, oh, we can control the line of scrimmage. But we just wanted to throw the damn ball.
Yeah.
This man averaged 8 yards a carry for an entire. You know how hard it is to average 8 yards a carry for an entire game?
That's crazy.
That means if you give him the ball, right? If you get this dude the ball 20 times, he got 160.
It's like a high school game, man.
Right? I'm just saying that's what happens. You get and to me it was more so. I love AJ Brown, so because I don't want anybody to think that I'm being negative toward them because I'm happy we won. I'm not being negative toward Jalen or AJ. It's not negativity. I'm trying to explain to everybody here is that you don't want to create habits that are unsustainable for the rest of the team. So now, if the squeaky wheel got the grease, got the ball because he said something or because there was a blow up because he felt offended, what's going to happen when somebody else does it? You're just creating a cycle that you're going to reward people if they say something about it. So Dallas deserves the ball. Devontae deserves the ball, but it's only one ball. That means that somebody's going to do great this game, somebody's not. Everybody can do great one game, everybody may not. But that's the joy of being a winner. And your value is not determined by you having 100 catches this year. It's not always like that. I get it because guys have incentives and they want to make the Pro Bowl. And we like, if I can, I'll help, but I'm not going to sacrifice the winning nature of the team and camaraderie and sportsmanship and in order to make one person happy. I just don't think it's ethical because otherwise Goddard should have cursed everybody ass out the first game. He didn't do it. Didn't hear a peep from him. I'll get it. It'll be there. You don't think he was frustrated? Everybody got to handle their emotions. One person's emotions can be more important than everybody else's. That's all I'm saying. All right.
That's good, man. I got nothing else to say. I mean, that's spot on right there. And like you said, and the thing that to me that always sticks out with you is that everything that you speak about, especially in these type of situations, it's about the team first. It's about putting the team, and that's really where the core of championship teams come from, right? Sacrificing, stuff like blocking for your guy, stuff like, if this game I got one catch, next game I'll get it better, right? So I love and I appreciate that you're always on point with that, and you've never wavered when it comes to that stuff. So that's awesome, man. Kudos to you.
Yeah. Well, glory to God. And the other thing too, there's a lot of people. Jalen Hurts' body, Jalen Kelsey's body is hurting. He's older. Lane's body, like these guys go down all the time. They're not thinking about okay, no, they sacrifice. And then that's it. People are paying through injuries. You can't. You got to just make sure you treat people as you treat people the right way. That's all I'll say about it. All right, we're going to transition to defense. But before we transition to defense, I want to let you guys know about a new show on Inside the Birds platform, the Inside the Tape with our former teammate, Clay Harbor. Clay X Harbor, The Bachelor, and Greg Cosell drops every Thursday on Inside the Birds platform. Make sure you guys check that out. Clay Harbor and the tape breakdown guru, Greg Cosell, every Thursday, Inside the Tape with Clay Harbor and Greg Cosell. Check that out. You guys, I'm excited about that. It's good to have Clay on the platform.
That's awesome, man. I love Clay. Yeah, Clay is probably the most fastest. I remember when he came in as rookie, he's probably the fastest non-athletic running dude I've ever seen in my life. I was like, this dude, I saw him, I'm like, okay, he
can roll.
He can roll people. Like, I'm talking, he is fast, and he don't look like he's that fast. That's good to see him on the platform, man. That's awesome. Good to see him
on the platform. Hey, Clay, you got to take your shirt off on the platform. We need the followers, baby. All right, you got the defense.
All right, man. Let's talk about the defense, man. Another dominant performance. What was the final stat line? We talked about it. The Buccaneers passed 146 yards passing, 38 yards rushing. Mm-hmm. That stat really stuck out to me. Do you think anybody's going to be able to run against this Eagles defense?
I said this on the pregame show yesterday that I would be surprised if there's a team that has 100-yard rusher on us. Not saying that it can't, but I would just be surprised. It's just because the way that Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter defeats double team. Like, there's a few plays last night that were just unbelievable. Jalen Carter on the sack that him and Fletcher Cox had, he had a double team. He beat the double team, the person that started the double team, so quick that it turned into a one-on-one in less than a second. He looked like a ninja. And the dude, if you could just think back to your childhood when somebody got hit upside the head on Bugs Bunny. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? That's what it looked like right there. He just hit him with a swim chop, pop, pop, and was just sled pushing the other guy back to the quarterback. I was like, what just happened? The other guy was trying to find work. He tried to start to help the left tackle. I'm like, you start double teaming the D tackle, and now you out helping on the defensive end. It happened so quick. I was like, this dude is unbelievable, and he did it twice. And he ended up getting that sack. He missed the sack with Baker Mayfield, and then he was literally a half a step away on two. I can't never say his name. How you say his name? Tulopu. I can never. Yeah,
I can't say it. Hold on.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Everybody know what I'm talking about. Marlon's name.
I can't pronounce that.
No, you're fine. But he was
Tuipu.
He was literally like a half a second away from getting in on that sack as well. So goal line. I did a breakdown today on the goal line, his play on the goal line, the one that Morrow ended up getting the safety. It was Jalen Carter. It was Jalen Carter and it was Jordan Davis. Davis. So they brought in, they had heavy personnel. They reported 64 eligible. He was playing the right tight end, and then they had the tackle there. Those two were double teaming Jalen Carter. And Jalen Carter hit the first dude that tried to step up the tackle with the swim move. Hoo, just like he did the first time. Hoo, couldn't touch him. Fell down in the hole. Then he started powering into the tight end, which was the offensive lineman, which left a lane open for Morrow just to shoot right in between, right? Because one of the guys was on the ground. He just jumped over because they were supposed to sift up to him, made that play. Jordan Davis, double team, stood both of them up like this. Cunningham comes and crashes the guy because he couldn't get off double team, couldn't get off Jordan. And they is safety. So all of that happened because those two dudes and Fletch, because of this youthfulness that's in front of him and him seeing it, is playing harder than he has in the last 4 years.
Yeah, man. He looked like a new man out there.
Yeah, he's getting off the ball. These dudes are getting off the ball. And check this out. They did that in a 5-2 front. We go 5-2 fronts every now and again in base offense. We're talking about 10 people that they have at the line of scrimmage blocking, and y'all running basically a base formation. And you get a safety out of base personnel. Most teams in the league that run 3-4 end up in the 5-2 front.
Yeah. I mean,
what can you do about that?
It's crazy, man.
So yeah, that D line. Don't let Hassan Reddick get help. He a no-show right now, and he's a baller. It's just because his hand. Wait till he with this. Man, stop it.
It's insane, man. I just go ahead.
When they go to the, like, if they want to stop the run and they end up with any combination of Jordan Davis, Jalen, and Fletch or Milton Williams, and then you put your bigger DNs in, Brandon, right? And Sweaty.
Yeah.
What you gonna do about that? You can't.
You can't
do anything about that.
I don't think there's ever been, and I think I've said this before, I don't think there's ever been a defensive line with this many great players on it. I mean, we're not talking just good. These are great players. And they're young. There's some young, there's some old, there's some, vets or whatever, how you want to say it. I mean, just top to bottom, I mean, every one of these dudes can play. And like you said, we haven't even seen them 100% healthy yet. We haven't seen the best of them. I mean, these are the rookies playing like this. Dude, I have to say this too. One of the most proud moments for me as a former defensive guy and an Eagle was seeing Jalen Carter chase down that run and punch the ball out. Like, people don't understand. Like, a lot of people may not understand, for a rookie to come in and play with that much hustle, that much fire, that much want to, it's something that is not normal for what I've experienced in my life. A lot of times you get a first round pick, they come in and they got the attitude, they sharing time, they don't want to be. This dude is hungry, right?
Yeah.
And I have to believe that it's because of the way they are in that room, the vets in that room, the way that they work out, the way that they work in practice, the way they watch film. It's got to be, because that's not normal for a rookie to come in and make a hustle play like that. That was a beautiful thing for me. It almost brought a tear to my eye, man. I was like,
Oh my God.
it's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? Just to keep fighting, even if the play's not over. Just keep fighting, hustle, run to the ball, and make something happen. And he did on that, and I was like, that's it. This team is special.
Yeah, no, they like I said, they were
Oh,
out
this
there.
defense is special.
They were out there practicing. They're out there practicing with the Buccaneers. They had the ball for 9 minutes, and Todd Bowles refused to call a timeout. He's like, "Let's go home now. Let's go home." He was like Martin fighting Tommy Hearns. I won't fight no more.
Does it look bad?
They don't want to fight them. That's the way it was. I like they literally had no shot to win that game. Nobody in the entire stadium at any point in the game was like, "Oh, the Buccaneers got a shot." Nobody.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I love Todd Bowles. I have a lot of respect for him, but sometimes, like, when he's got the headset on and someone's talking to him, he just makes this look, and I'm always wondering, like, what are they saying? Like, what is the coordinator saying? And it had to be like at that game last night. They had to be like, "Coach, I don't know what else to call. Everything I'm calling ain't working."
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here healthy. We go beat up on Carolina or somebody. Atlanta. We gotta stop hanging around there. Can't stop hanging around these streets. The Eagles will kill us. You stop hanging around the streets. We going back. We will go back to the suburbs and start our problem. All right.
Oh,
man. How much? So
how much of the D? So I can ask this one. How much do you think this D line covered up for the back end?
Oh, big, huge.
Yeah.
The reason I say is that I like Josh Jobe and his willing to come up, but he's going to have a problem. People are going to be able to get after him.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't run extremely well. It's good enough. And he gives a little bit too much cushion at times. And running across the field is going to be tough for him to continue to hold up. Bradbury in the slot, he has to get comfortable and used to it and understand where he is in space. You can tell with a few routes, like it was one with Goodwin that was, he just gave it to him, not realizing what coverage he was in and where he was and where he was vulnerable at.
A lot of space inside.
Yeah, just a lot, just too much when you're inside. Even if you're like, you got to understand how to play, even like your shades when you're in the inside. You can't give up as much space as you could outside, because outside you got the sideline, you got people inside of you, so you can give a little bit more. Inside, you got to like learn how to cut off stuff, because that guy can go anywhere. And so you can't just give people free access. So he's going to learn and get better with that. But overall, this game was controlled up front. And there was matchup that the Buccaneers had, but they just couldn't always get to it because of how dominant the front was. And also Mayfield as well. So, yeah.
I mean, they were in two shell up pretty much the whole game. And for a secondary guy, when you could just sit back in the two shell, like the pick that Reed had, which was a tremendous play, he was actually on the other side of the field. and he wasn't even feeling threatened at all because of our front was getting so much pressure. He just starts lurking. He goes to the strong side and makes a pick on a play that he really probably shouldn't have been over there. But
was that 2 or I thought it was 6. I thought it was some version of 6. I thought it was 2 to the boundary, and I thought he was in cover 4 with Slay, and he was looking up the other side, like because nobody.
Yeah, that's. I believe you're right. I think that's that Fangio cover 8, they call it. It's like a cover 8 where it's quarter, half, but it's flipped. It's quarters to the backside, so the backside safety can kind of lurk to the strong side. Still, though, I mean, he was all the way on the other hash. On the other side, yeah, that was a great play.
It's a great play.
Yeah, so I liked it. You can do that when you got a D line that's just getting after it. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. All right, so yeah, we kind of talked about this a little bit with Bradbury. Okay, so we kind of touched on it, right? So, I have my thoughts on this. Do you think that here? I'll change this question up a little bit. Do you think that James Bradbury is going to work out as an inside guy, or do you think he should go back to the outside and put Joby inside?
Job, I don't know if Job is comfortable enough and ready to play inside. I think Bradbury has more experience and understanding of the defense. Just NFL defense is better. I think that they need to figure out to bring in someone, a veteran, somebody. I don't know who's available, but I think the Eagles are going to have to come up with a game plan in order to bring in somebody solid. So maybe somebody older, somebody in their 30s that want to get 1 more year in, 2 more years in, somebody like that, in order to get us through these next couple games. Chris Harris is a name that's mentioned by right there. Like that would be a solid pick. Somebody that want to get another year in or 2. I think it's beneficial to get somebody in like that.
Dory Jackson's available.
Dory Jackson available?
I think. Let me see.
No.
Dory Jackson. He's not. No. Sorry. I'm looking at what's this website I'm looking at?
Smoke crack, don't you?
My bad. I was looking at the wrong thing.
You are good. Yeah, so I don't think that Bradbury the reason is physical play. Like you know how it is when you're a nickel and you're in cover 2 like they were sometimes last night. If you're playing 4 down linemen and you're in cover 2, that nickel is responsible for the beat, right?
Yeah.
C gap, right? So he's responsible for inside run, and you need somebody physical and that's willing to beat somebody across their face to go make that tackle and that wants to. So you need somebody that's accustomed to doing that. I don't necessarily think that Bradbury's accustomed to doing
that. I agree with you. I don't think Bradbury inside is going to be a long-term solution.
Yeah.
So here's my other question. What was up with Mike Evans last night, man? What? He just looked uninterested.
Well,
I know
he dropped the first pass that was to him. Slay could have had a pick too. But he dropped that first pass, and I think he was in his head. And then there was a portion of the game where this is what the fans don't see. And this is why let me get a little bit hyped about this. The fans don't see when it's raining. Y'all, because the cameras are so good, everybody think that, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Dude, you know how hard it is to catch an NFL with ball when it's raining? It's not like high school. I know a lot of you guys play high school. And when the water hit the ball, it's soaked into the ball and it's easy to catch. No, this is NFL quality leather, pigskin, NFL quality. That means that this ball, the water just like slides on the side of it and it makes it like the slipperiest thing ever. And you got to have hands to catch in the rain. Like hands to catch in the rain. That's why your boy played 11 years, because I was that guy that can catch in the rain. I can catch it in most things, right? But it's hard. So when a guy drops the ball and it starts raining, man, it's tough out there. It's tough. You see how many drops it was this weekend on the East Coast?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Drops this weekend because it was raining. no, it sounds like an excuse maker, but it's just the truth. So
It's that different kind of rain too. It's like that misty rain. Like when it's the hard rain, it's a little different. When it's that misty rain where it just puts like a little sheen on the ball, make
yeah.
it harder for you.
Well, now I don't know about the mystery rain. It got to pouring down for a second. Well, one of his drop, it was pouring down. I think he was on the sideline. But then the dude coming doing one hit. I'm like, what in the world is going on out here? It's weird. It'd be like that sometimes. But yes, he should have been. He had a chance to change the outcome of the game a few times and did make the play. Sidney Brown, came in and made a heck of a play on one, but he bobbled it, so he should have caught it the first time. So him and AJ Brown didn't want any fantasy points last night.
All right.
Enough
you making excuses for your receiver brethren.
All right. I've been there though, so I ain't gonna hate. I've been there.
Well, speaking of, all right, so last little question of the day. Discuss if Reed Blankenship is the next Quintin Mikell. Reed Blankenship is going to be.
Hold on,
wait.
Reed got some game now,
and he can dance too. You saw him at the pick. I was like, okay.
Oh my God, Reed, check you out. That sounds crazy right there.
No, man.
No, so look, Reed is getting better. He's solid. He came up and field. It was only one spot for the ball to go, and he took off. You know the play I'm talking about on the left side?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The left side when he feel like when both all the holes clogged up and it was like channel right to him, and he didn't
exactly.
And he didn't slow down. He came up and made the tackle. I was like, check this man out. Reading that quarterback's eyes in position the whole game. Reed is getting a lot better, and he's our best safety right now.
Yeah, he is.
Is he Q? I ain't see him. I don't know. Q, you was a heck of a tackling dude, man. Q can. Hey,
thank you, man.
Listen. This is one of the best tackling dudes in Eagles history now. I'm telling you guys, this dude can make a tackle in the open field. Nobody else around. You know how many tackles I've seen you save? Like I'm talking about the dude is you and him. I remember Washington one time. You got somebody right in the open field. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought he was gone. Like there's like, yeah, so I don't know if he's Quintin Mikell, but he definitely got some skills.
But see, now he didn't have the luxury of first of all, he didn't have the luxury of great player being behind great players like Doc and all those guys. Yeah. And he's playing a lot earlier than I did. So it's a good and a bad. So I think he's gonna be a tremendous player. I think he'll be better than me. But thank you, man. I appreciate that.
They don't know. Sometimes you gotta remind them. And also talking about special teams ace.
Now that ain't nobody gonna beat me on that. Maybe Ike Reese.
Q, like we didn't even have the cover. I used to be like, man, I ain't running out of the field. Q gonna make the tackle on punt when you had the PP. Like, man, look, I'm gonna take this one off. If Q gonna make the tackle, we ain't winning.
Oh man, you crazy.
I was just running down there for exercise. Good job, Q. All right. Make sure you guys check out Launch Trampoline Park in Deptford, New Jersey. We have slam ball, dodgeball, basketball, Ninja Warrior course, arcade, pizza, birthday parties, laser tag, interactive trampoline games. We got a new game called Flash Pads where you can play Floors Lava and different games like that. Make sure you check out Launch Trampoline Park in Deptford, New Jersey. Q, you got the last word today. Tell me
why man.
You're first.
Yeah, so I got the last word today. I'm excited for this. Okay. Here we go. What a great time to be alive. We had a great weekend of football, right? college football, NFL football. We had Clemson versus Florida State. We got to see Jeremiah Trotter Jr. out there making big plays. You had the Ohio State versus Notre Dame game, great game. At the whiteout with Penn State. The Colorado versus Oregon game was great. Then we get well, I guess before that we got the Niners beating the Giants. I love when the Giants lose. Dolphins putting up 70 points on Sunday. Close games with the Vikings and the Chargers. And hold on, I got prepared for this one. Then we get Sunday afternoon, Cowboys, Cardinals. What were they, 14-point favorites? Jonathan Gannon, his opening press conference looked like he couldn't motivate a person out of a wet paper bag. Josh Dobbs, rocket scientist, coming off the street, quarterback.
Aerospace engineer, baby.
Yeah, aerospace engineer. And the Cowboys, they gave up the ghost. You got Dobbs. He only threw for 189 yards, but they rushed the entire Cardinals offense, rushed for 222 yards. Game was sealed by a Dak Prescott pick by our man Kaiser White, former Eagle. What a great time to be alive. I am drinking, this whole time I've been drinking Cowboy Tears right now, Cowboy fans tears. So delicious. Jonathan Gannon, listen, man, everything that I complained about over the last few years is over, man. You're forgiven because you have helped shut up this Cowboy Nation for once and not once and for all, because we know next year they were going to win the first two games and then they're going to go to the Super Bowl like they say every year. But great time to be alive. Cowboy fans, I love having your tears. Keep them coming. You guys are done. And that's the final word. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in, Q&A podcast. Peace.